Hello there, beautiful people, and welcome to your GPS forecast for the week of Sunday, January 7th to Saturday, January 13th of 2018. This is the first GPS video for 2018. Welcome back. I know we haven't had a GPS video since about November, and I know that many of you are probably thinking, what in the world? Who are you? Like, I came here to watch Mimi and I came here to watch Nikki. Well, let me just tell you, Mimi's having some Saturn challenges. That's one of the reasons why I wore this lovely Saturn t-shirt today. Mimi has her Saturn in the 4th house of home. And so do I, so that's why I have this shirt. And anyway, Mimi has just had some challenging family situations, and earlier this week I said, Mimi, you really need to take a break and get some sleep because she was very tired and had not had a proper sleep in a very long time. And I said, listen, I will do the GPS for everybody, okay? And so we can have a GPS and we can all have fun and get to know what to expect in the week ahead. And we can all just really rest easy knowing that Mimi is going to be sleeping in and getting her batteries recharged. Some of you may remember me from the summer GPS videos. I was here with Mimi all summer, and it is a pleasure and a delight to be back with all of you today. So anyway, let's jump in and take a look at the astrology for the week ahead. On Sunday, January 7th, we are going to have the moon moving out of Virgo and into Libra. And this is going to be happening very early in the morning. It'll be at 7:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I guess would be about 4 o'clock in the morning if you're living in the Pacific time zone. By the way, I got these times and transits from this Llewellyn pocket planner, and I think this is great. I will link it below if anybody's interested in calculating these transits for themselves. This is available on Amazon for just about $10. So I think this could be good if you're very serious about aligning with the astrology this year. So anyway, so we're having the moon moving into Libra very, very early in the morning. And the first thing that comes to mind about this is that transition of the moon from Virgo to Libra is going to change the energies quite a bit. Now, this moon in Virgo has made many of us kind of want to get things organized and want to get things structured and to be very productive. You know, Virgo is all about our daily routine and our health and being of service and being productive, working, getting things done. So my guidance to you, if you're watching this on Saturday night, maybe do your grocery shopping tonight, get some of your tasks that you need to done tonight, maybe do some of your cleaning tonight, because you're probably going to notice an energetic shift that is coming in on Sunday morning and taking us through to the middle of the day on Tuesday. So the moon in Libra, I think this is a really nice energy. It's going to mean that in order to really feel our best and have harmony in our inner world, because the moon is about our emotions and it's about our inner world, that we're going to need to aim for harmony and aim for balance. And I know that Mimi has been speaking a lot about balance in the daily forecast this week. This energy is going to require that we be quite flexible and that we be adaptable and positive and harmonious in our interactions with others. So if you do put off your routine and your cleaning and all of that stuff for Sunday, it may be a good idea to kind of, you know, take a little bit of a slower approach, maybe team up with somebody else. Libra loves partnership, you know, and Libra wants us to connect and compromise with someone close to us. So you may feel compelled early in the week to give a family member a call, or to give your best friend a call, or to spend that extra time connecting and emphasizing with somebody who's close to you. And that would be very in alignment and would bring some extra fulfillment to you at the level of the heart. Now, the card that I got for this energy from the tarot is the Wheel of Fortune card. Now, many of you may know this can be a card that represents karma, or other words, it represents something fated happening in our life. And so much of what happens for us on earth is actually determined before we ever get here. We have many, many soul contracts about everything from very mundane, or what seems to be mundane happenings in our life, to very important things like our health and our relationships and our career. So this card indicates that something fated may happen early in the week, you know, Sunday, Monday, or halfway through Tuesday. And the Wheel of Fortune card is a card that is ruled by the planet of Jupiter. And many of us know that Jupiter is actually the planet of expansion and the planet of luck. And so what this card is saying is that whatever happens for you, big or small, here early in the week, to know that it's probably something that was outside of your control. The Wheel of Fortune just kind of, you know, turns on its own sort of dial, and it brings us whatever is fated. So it may be the case that you did not have much control over what happens here early in the week, but what you do have control over is sort of how you respond and what you make of this situation. And because the moon is in Libra, this is saying take a balanced approach. Choose to see this in a good way. You know what Libra loves is beauty and harmony. So can you see the beauty in whatever the Wheel of Fortune is giving you? You know, and the fact that this card is affiliated with Jupiter means that even though it may not seem that way on the surface, and indeed that whatever change or thing that happens for you, it could seem very, very lucky and very, very positive on the surface. But if it doesn't, this card says that it may not be what it seems. Like, it may look like, oh my gosh, I don't really like this hand that I was dealt, but this card says you can use this to your advantage. You know, how you choose to respond to whatever life throws your way is within your control. And this card asks us to be optimistic and to also kind of go with the flow. And Libra needs to do that as well. That is what Libra energy is about, is like compromising, going with the flow, doing what is best for everyone, doing what helps us to feel balanced and nurtured and harmonious on the inside. So that's the approach that you want to take here early in the week, and just know that what occurs in our life is not always within our control, okay? But how we respond to it is always within our control. And sometimes we just have to have a sense of humor. Like, sometimes crazy things happen and we don't know why. You know, it could be related to something that happened in a past life 10 lifetimes ago that's just coming up again. But we really don't need to know why things are happening. We just need to stay centered within ourselves and to respond in a way that we can be proud of, and to take whatever we're dealt here early in the week, whatever happens, whatever people say to us, and to respond in an optimistic way and to choose to see it as a good thing. So that's kind of how we're starting the week. It's like, okay, a change might come in, or somebody might say something, you know, that's unexpected, that comes out of nowhere. And our job is to not freak out, don't freak out, okay? But is to center within ourselves, stay balanced, and show up in an optimistic way. Choose to see this in an optimistic way. Everything that happens in our life is an opportunity for us to sort of show our alignment with our soul and to show up in our integrity and in love, and that's going to be really important at the beginning of the week. So this moon in Libra is going to take us to Tuesday, January 9th, when the moon will move into Scorpio. And this is going to happen at 3:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be right around the lunch hour, about noon Pacific Standard Time. And so this moon into Scorpio, I just love the card that I got because it totally embodies exactly what this energy is about. So the tarot card I got for this is the Queen of Cups. I don't know if it gets any better than that in terms of a card actually matching the energy. So the moon in Libra at the beginning of the week, this might bring out our desire to spend time, you know, with somebody special to us, whether that's a best friend, family member, a lover, whatever. Now, this moon into Scorpio, when the moon moves into Scorpio on Tuesday afternoon, it could kind of pull us back within ourselves, pull us back into ourselves, pull us back into our emotions, pull us back into our subconscious. But this could be an inwardly focused energy. Now, the moon in Scorpio means that, you know, to feel fulfilled, we need to embrace that Scorpio energy. And that Scorpio energy wants to look below the surface. Scorpio is not really that interested in what's going on the surface. Scorpio's like, I want to dig up, you know, what's in the shadows, and I want to find the truth about what's there. Scorpio is affiliated with psychology, and Scorpio is affiliated with sexuality, so you could notice a change in the way that you see yourself in that respect as well as we move through the week. So the Queen of Cups energy, what this tells us is that when we move into the midweek, and by the way, this is going to be about Tuesday afternoon until Thursday late at night that we're going to be experiencing this energy. Okay, this says, listen, during the middle of the week, things may not be what they seem. It's important for you to trust your intuition, okay? The Queen of Cups, this is arguably the most psychic card in the tarot. Maybe it might be challenged by the High Priestess card, but this is a very psychic card. Listen, you are psychic. Everybody is psychic. All of us have natural psychic gifts, and this is a time to trust in that psychic power. Trust in what your emotions are telling you. Trust in what your subconscious is trying to communicate to you. Midweek could be a wonderful time to actually track your dreams or pay attention to your dreams. This journal that I'm using today, this is actually my dream journal, and I've just been tracking my dreams since the start of 2018, and it is absolutely shocking what I've discovered about what my subconscious mind is trying to communicate to me. So I encourage you all to do the same, or at least pay attention to what's rising up within you from below the surface in the middle of the week. This card asks us to put the focus on our emotions, to listen to our own emotions about what our needs are in the middle of the week, but also to be very mindful of how we use our emotions to serve or not to serve others. You want to be very, very mindful of how are your emotions impacting others. I know that many people that are watching are empaths and are highly sensitive people. Probably almost everybody would identify with that term. And we have the power to offer emotional healing to others. And that is what the Queen of Cups is about. This is like, if you see somebody struggling, not everybody is going to necessarily rise in this energy. Some people are going to maybe feel disturbed. You know, Scorpio is affiliated with some of the darker aspects of life. If somebody around you is feeling disturbed, be an emotional support for that person if you can, you know, give that person a hug. Sometimes when the moon is in Scorpio, secrets can be revealed, and they may come from within us. It could be a memory of some trauma that comes within our subconscious. It could be anything, really. Like, you never know what your subconscious wants to bring to you. Nurture yourself. Nurture yourself. Show up for yourself. Be that emotional support to yourself. If you can, be that emotional support to others as well. Scorpio emotions run very, very deep. And that's what this card is about, emotions that run deep. So can you assist somebody who's going through an emotional time by just being a non-judgmental witness to what they are experiencing, or by giving them a hug, or, you know, a virtual hug, or whatever is necessary. But this card indicates that we are to focus on that emotional and intuitive side of life. This would not necessarily be the time for sort of cutting off from our emotions or being overly rational or logical. There is going to be a time for that, which we'll discuss in a moment. But when it comes to Tuesday, and when it comes to, you know, early Wednesday, we want to show up for our emotions. This might be a time with the moon in Scorpio to unplug a little bit from the world and take some time to go within. This energy, to me, it almost calls for almost like a hypnosis. I think that's one thing that you could do, like, is there's a lot of like free hypnosis tracks that are on YouTube and things like that. If you have some time, this could be a good time to listen to one of those. This could be a time where you get an insight about a past life, or you get an insight from your subconscious about some sort of issue or problem that you've been trying to solve for a long time. So flow with this energy. Use your empath sort of abilities or your emotional healing abilities for yourself and for others. And yeah, if you have to choose between, am I going to use my left brain, my logic, my rationality, my observations, or am I going to choose to focus on my right brain, my creativity, my intuition, my divine feminine? Choose the right brain. This card is affiliated with the right brain. Okay, so that energy, like I said, on Tuesday afternoon is going to carry us into Thursday late at night, that moon into Scorpio energy. But we also have a transit that is going on Wednesday, January 10th, which is that the planet of Mercury, which of course many of us know the planet of Mercury, it rules actually our communications, and that includes both internal and external communications. So this is like how we talk, how we think, what we know, how we learn, how we communicate to others, how we're gathering information. So the planet of Mercury is going to be moving into Capricorn. And this is going to be happening pretty late at night on Wednesday, January 10th. It's going to occur at 9:09 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which will actually be just slightly after midnight if you're in the Eastern time zone. And this is going to want this energy. Capricorn's about structure. Capricorn's about management. Capricorn is about organization. So this is going to want, this energy is going to call us to organize ourselves, to organize our thoughts. We may feel called to even communicate about Capricorn types of issues, like communicating about responsibilities, communicating about management, communicating about roles and responsibilities, creating a plan, that type of stuff, so that we can become more successful. I think this is a very supportive energy. I think it goes along well with Saturn in Capricorn at this time, but it may be, you know, quite a notable shift in the way that we think, in the way that we're speaking. So you could wake up then early Thursday morning and have the thought in your head, oh my gosh, I need to organize my life. I'm never going to be successful with the way I've been doing things. It's time for a change. And if you're feeling that, you know, take the next month or so and get organized, and take time to discuss as well with Mercury and Capricorn, to discuss what you are going to do to enhance your public image, or even to learn about what you're going to do to enhance your public image, or what you can do. This would be a good time for learning about management, for learning about business, for learning about time management. Capricorn is affiliated with Saturn and affiliated with time, right? So this is a time for learning about those things. Like, let's say you wanted to start a business. This is a time for learning about how do you do that? What is really required? This could be a good time for doing your taxes as well, because that can be a very Mercury thing, very tedious, you know, to know about all the little regulations that you have to follow and things like that. This could be a time in the next 4 to 6 weeks to take care of those details. So the card that we got for this is the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, which I think, again, is a very good match for what the planets are telling us. So the Two of Pentacles here, it can be about, well, it can be about, you know, somebody who maybe runs a business or has a very significant job and a lot of responsibilities in the material world, who then also has to face responsibilities in the intuitive world or in the emotional world. So this is a card of balance. This is a card of having to juggle a lot of different things. And this is a card that asks us, how are you going to take responsibility? How are you going to balance competing interests? So this could show up in many ways, but you may notice this theme emerging here in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Maybe you are a business owner, or you are, you do have a lot of demands at work, and maybe you also notice demands then rising in the home front or with family or things like that. To me, this is kind of like the battle between Capricorn and Cancer. Maybe I shouldn't say battle, but this is about maybe making the most of both of those energies, because this card says, I want you to take responsibility and have success and have power in both of these areas, right? Not to choose either or, but to balance both. So you may notice an emerging conflict or 2 different areas of your life that need you to manage them. Capricorn is about management, okay? So how can you balance that? So basically what this card is saying is, listen, you need to make a plan. You need to make a plan. You need to know your priorities. You need to get that in order here as we move into this Mercury and Capricorn time. So what are your priorities? What is number 1 on your priority list? What is number 2? And how are you going to use your time to take care of business, right? Now, this card also tells us not to let ourselves get distracted. To me, this is somebody who is very, very, very adept at staying calm, even when there might be, right, kind of stormy waters in the background. And that's what this card asks us to do. And I think the best way to do that is to have a very strong plan. This could be a call to create a schedule. And you may have to say, listen, this is the time, here's my 2 hours a day for my family, my 1 hour a day for myself, my 8 hours a day at work, and you may have to stick to that plan during this transit and not let yourself get distracted or pulled by outside influences. Now, this card is about the mundane things in our life, and it tells us, those things are important. Paying our bills is important. Doing our taxes is important. Cleaning our house is important. Like, all of our responsibilities are important. And so we're moving, from what might have been a time where our focus may have been more on our spirituality and our inner world and adventure, and we are moving into now a time where spirit is kind of pulling us and saying, nope, focus on what's in front of you. Focus on the material world. Think about your life in the material world. How are you going to succeed, basically? This Capricorn energy, both Saturn and Capricorn, Mercury and Capricorn, it wants us to succeed. Capricorn is about our public image. It's about who we are in the world. What does the world know about us? What is our legacy? Okay, so basically you want to think about those types of things. What am I working towards? Capricorn can be about long-term goals. Where do you want to be in 10 years? How are you going to get there? Now is the time to make a plan and figure out, yes, this card acknowledges things can be difficult. Balancing everything, taking responsibility for all of the different obligations that you have in your life, including your responsibility to yourself, to others, to your work, that can be a lot. But this card says you can do it. Like, you can do it as long as you have a plan. So that's what we can expect here. Those types of themes coming up with Mercury and Capricorn for the next month or so. Now, on Thursday, we're going to have another moon transit. So on Thursday, January 11th, the moon is going to move into Sagittarius. This is quite late at night, so most of us will probably feel it on Friday. It's going to be happening at 11:04 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 1:04 a.m. on Friday if you're in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. And the card that I got for this is very interesting. I got the 7 of Swords, the 7 of Swords for moon in Sagittarius. Now, this 7 of Swords, this actually shows someone stealing swords and somebody who thinks that they're getting away with theft and that they're kind of sneaking behind. But the card also shows that even though they think nobody's watching, there are people in the background who are watching. So basically this is saying, are you trying to get away with something that you know that maybe you shouldn't get away with, okay? Or is somebody else kind of trying to trick you, and are they kind of trying to go behind your back? These are kind of the themes that we may be facing here on Friday and on Saturday. Now, if Sagittarius likes one thing, that thing would be truth. Sagittarius demands that we are in alignment with the highest truth. And Sagittarius is about knowing that truth and acting in alignment with that truth. So what this card could suggest is that if you've been trying to get away with something that maybe you know is unethical or is immoral in some way or is illegal in some way, now would be the time to come clean. Now would be the time to be honest, because you may be found out. You may think, oh, you know, I'm going behind my friend or lover's back or whatever, but they don't know, and what they don't know is not going to hurt them. And what this card says is they do know, or they are about to know, okay? They're about to discover the truth, and that is what Moon in Sagittarius is about, is that discovery of truth. So I don't think there's any need for most of us to worry about this energy, but what we can all do to make the most of it is we can just be sure that we are avoiding any form of lying. This is not a time for lying. This is not a time for deception. This is not a time for trickery. Maybe if the moon was in Gemini, we might get away with some of that stuff, but not with the moon in Sagittarius. This card says don't run away from your problems, okay? Don't run away from your problems. Don't try to hide from your problems. Face the truth. Show up again, and be responsible for what you've done. And this card says, listen, things will turn out better if you do that. You may think it's better to hide from your problems, but this card says if you actually come forth and say, listen, I'm really sorry, but I made a mistake, or listen, I did something that I'm not proud of, and I'm just really sorry, and please, can you give me your forgiveness? Things will turn out a lot better. So it's really a time to come clean. Now, if you haven't been hiding anything, or this doesn't really make sense to you, this card could be about somebody else in your life. So you really want to be very vigilant on Friday, on Saturday, and really think, you know, maybe you get a call from someone or something happens at work. Really think to yourself, is this person actually being honest from me? Are they being honest with me? Is there something that they're not telling me? Okay, so be very, very vigilant. And I think it's really interesting because I just finished a week of readings with clients, and I had a lot of messages from people's angels and spirit guides about sort of beware, you know, this person might be trying to steal something from you or things like that. I normally do not get messages like that from the angels. And so I think it's very interesting to see this card come through as well, which is sort of validating this fact that, okay, some truths may be revealed, and we need to be honest with ourselves. You know, sometimes we hide things from ourselves. Sometimes we know somebody's lying to us, but it's like, yeah, that's my mom, or yeah, I don't know, that's my friend, I'm just gonna let them get away with it. This card says not anymore, okay? Like, if you know the truth and you're pulling the wool over your own eyes, it's time to stop that behavior and just know that the truth will set you free. So yeah, everybody, that's a look at what's going on in the Astro this week. And I wish you all just the most amazing, amazing week ahead. And I just set the intention that we all can make the most of these energies and flow with the energies to manifest our best life possible. I want to wish everybody a very, very happy new year in 2018, and just thank you to everybody who's watching and tuning in. You guys are all amazing, and Mimi, thanks you all as well. And yeah, we'll be back again soon with another GPS video. So thank you guys so much, and namaste. Bye.